The young man over here, he said, if that gym teacher say anything else, I'm going to punch him in his mouth. Who you think punched the man in the mouth? I did. And I ran. The 7th grade. Teacher who, let me ask you something, who give you your grades?
The principal, teacher.
The county.
Thank you. You give yourself your own grades. I was sitting in the back by the back door and I saw this teacher walk by and I said, yeah, there was that mother sucker that gave me that F on my report card. I got up and got my chair and I threw it at him and I hit him here and I paralyzed him. Wow. See that man right there? I met him when I came to Tampa in 1974. Me and him went to high school together. And he can tell you how I used to be at Hillsborough High School in Tampa. Thug life. Didn't care about anything. I hated everybody. Anybody 15 in here? All right? I've been in a place in New York called Bellevue Hospital. That's where they put you in a straitjacket and they put you in a room and let you bounce off walls. That was me. That was me. I was ready to call it. By the time I turned 21, I can't tell you how many times, sir, I'm being real, how many times I tried to commit suicide because I just wanted to end it. Because I got tired of life. Well, let me tell you something. It wasn't until my son came in. This is after I did military time. This is after I became the first black manager at the post office in Tampa. But it wasn't until my son came in the 5th grade and he said, Daddy, can you come speak to my class tomorrow? I said, sure, son. No problem. But I didn't know, sir, I didn't know God had a trick up his sleeves. Because I wanted to be the first black postmaster in Hillsborough County. That's what I wanted to be. But I didn't know he was going to set me on a path 23 years later. This is 23 years of me being a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, traveling around the country. How many of you all ever saw the show The Wire? Anybody ever heard of that show, The Wire? I'm in season 3 of The Wire. The Temptations, anybody ever heard of The Temptations? I auditioned for The Temptations in 1996. Anybody ever heard of James Brown? Oh, I love to dance now. Anybody ever heard of James Brown? All right, watch this. I gave a concert dancing as James Brown. 3,000 people in the audience. My 13th book is out now. It's called The Power of Being a Winner. I'm taking life and I'm running with it. I'm 58 years old, but I'm running with this bad boy. You feel me? I just left 300 young people. They were looking at me like, who is this man? But then when I broke that thing down, I threw that nay on him. Wait a minute. And when I went down on him, wait a minute, hold on. Hey, hold on, listen up. I want everybody to check me now. When I went, Dougie on him and finish it up because I love to dance. No pun intended. Most people my age, they laid back and they looking for death. But you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a legacy. How can I inspire people like you to grow to be the best that they want to be? This is Black History Month. Like, sir, you said the wrap-up of Black History Month. Sure, we talk about multicultural and whatnot, but the killer is, when I see young brothers, now, sir, I might step on some toes. When I see young brothers strolling through the streets, in schools, etc., all right, pants down, sagging. I go to prisons. I go to prisons. When I go to prisons and I see brothers up in there like this, I see them, hey, come get me. Oh my God. But I'm going to let y'all know something. I'm the guy right now, sir, ma'am, you might want to call Popo. Because I'm the guy right now, I'm strapped. I done walked in your building strapped.
sweetie.
Young sisters, young ladies, I can't tell you how many young sisters I see your age, especially when I go up on Facebook and I see young sisters up there calling themselves itches. They want to get known because they're swinging on a pole. Or guess what? In order for you to know them, they don't want you to see their face, they want you to see their behind. You're better than that. Young ladies, let me let y'all know something, okay? Y'all are goddess, princesses. You should carry yourself like that. When a homeboy coming at you like, yo, girl, what up, girl again. That's when you should tell him. That's when you should tell him just like this. Nate. Even if you have to throw a Supreme on him. Stop in the name, you fool. You done messed up my game. Get out my face. Don't lower your standards. Young brothers, don't lower your standards because you're better than that. See, we let our economical situation get the best of us. That thing right there, we let that thing up there, that thing over there, this thing up in here, I got those beats. Yo, dude, I got them beats, baby. We let that get to us. 99% of those rappers don't know. They don't want you to know that, guess what? They got college degrees. They get paid not to tell you that. They get paid to keep you dumb. That's what they do. If you can get out there and buy their product and look like them, because see, they going home in mansions. You going home to the block. And when you get finished, because you feel like you want to be like them, stick up kid, you going to prison. Or you going to a box. What box? Ice box. Refrigerator. Jordans. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't brag, sir, I ain't brag. I got 10 pair of Jordans. In my museum, I got magazines. I got every magazine Michael Jordan ever been on. I got a 24 karat gold Jordan trading card. One of my magazines that go to auction, one magazine go to auction. You ready for this? I can get $1,500 for one of those magazines that I've had since 1985, 1994. I have every magazine Jordan ever been on, even with the baseball uniform. And when Jordan come out his mouth and he says this recently, he said, look, I'm sorry that these kids out here killing themselves over my sneakers, but in reality, guess what? Bottom line, I got to get my stocks, baby. So a lot of us, when I ask some kids about that, they say, oh, well, I don't care. I'm going to get me some Jordan. Think about how you set yourself up, fellas. Ladies, you're better than. Don't carry yourself less than. You're better than. Don't carry yourself less than. You got the greater, you got the lesser. Be greater. Each one of you all got a dream, you got a desire of somewhere you want to go in your lifetime. Everything that's trying to stop you, called distractions, procrastination, alleyways, get rid of it out your life. Get rid of it out your life. These people here, these are some people who had to fight hard to get who they are, to be who they are. This man right here, Ben Carson, he's running for president on the Republican ticket. A lot of people don't like him because he's on Republican. But the mere fact is, John Hopkins Hospital one day, I'm going to see my dad on the 4th floor. As a matter of fact, when I walked in the room where my dad was, his last words he said to me, you know what he said to me? You ain't shh, and you ain't gonna never be shh. Next time I saw my dad, he was laying up in the casket, pinched right down. But wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute, put Jeffrey Dahmer on that fool. Wow. But guess what? As much as he, what? Hurt me? Told me I ain't pot hell? I went back at him and said, that's all right, bro. I forgive you. I love you. And I paid for his funeral. My son, I just left him. He's that big, 250 pounds. Every time I see him, he's 36 years old. Every time I see homeboy, we got this thing. I roll up on because he's bigger than me. I put my head on his chest, in his chest. And he grabbed me like this, got me playing with my hair. Man, get out my hair, man. But we always tell each other, you know what we tell each other? I love you. I love you too, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to say something that somebody here ain't going to like. When my boy was, how old are you, big man? Before I get into my mom, how old are you? Huh?
14.
You in middle school? Yeah. All right. My son was in middle school, sir. He came over to the house, him and his boys. They sitting on the couch. I go off in the kitchen, right, get him some juice or something I was doing. So I come back, right, and I'm standing over him. I said, get up, man. He got his boys, man. So he get up. He bigger than me, too, at that time, too. So he get up. Guess what, y'all? I hugged him, and I kissed him on his neck in front of his boys. Guess what he did? Yeah, that's what he did. Man, get off me, man. I ain't gay. So guess what? A couple of years later, I had him to take me to the airport. I walk off in the airport. Guess what he talking about? Yo, dad. I said, yo, what up, man? You forgot something. I said, wait a minute. I got my wallet, got my briefcase, got my credit card, got my ticket. What I forgot? He said, you forgot something. So you know what I did? I went back to the car and I started looking all through the car, the hood, in the trunk. And I said, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. So I left again. Yo, dad, you forgot. Man, stop playing, man. I got to catch my flight. You forgot to hug me and tell me you love me. I said, dude, I ain't gay. Then they gonna have nerve enough. Look, sister, he gonna tell me 2 months ago, Dad, you gonna be a granddad. Man, you better stop playing. He said, yeah. I said, so I talked to this beautiful young lady. I said, oh, you are. I said, when? June. I said, look at here, sir. I already told my son, you have children, you got to name somebody a Dawn. We got to keep that Dawn. He said, man, you crazy. We ain't do no more Dawn. We have the girl. I said, that girl better be Dawn in there somewhere. And guess what? When that baby come out, I dare you to tell that baby to call me granddaddy, grandpa. He better, or she better come out talking about, you ready for this? Can I tell him? 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 When they look up at me, grand cool. Grand cool. What you need, grand cool? I'm living life to the fullest. People say I'm crazy. Why you smile so much, Mr. D? Why you always not smiling? Because I'm loving life. I'm getting the best out of this. Matter of fact, if y'all come to my funeral, don't come looking for no flowers at the head, flowers at the tail of my casket. Don't even trip me like that. I already went to the funeral director and told him how I want my funeral. How many of y'all want to hear it? My girl like, on this side, on the head of the casket, I want three. 1, 2, 3 large bags of Oreo cookies. On the bottom, I want 1, 2, 3 large bags of chocolate chips. And watch this. While my girl say laughing, watch this. I want a bag of Oreo cookies. I want them open like that. I want a cookie in my hand that them bit off. Instead of sewing up my mouth, I want my mouth open a little bit like this. What I want crumbs put on my tongue. Ooh, wait a minute, hold on. And I'm going to be laying there just like this. And I already know what's going to happen. I already know what's going to happen. Excuse me. This might be my last time visiting because I keep it 100. Some fool going to come up and be doing just like this. Oh, man. Wow, dude. We're going to miss you. We're going to miss you, man. Yeah. Dude, you man, bro. As soon as he go like this, that's when I'm going to touch it. I'll kill you. Huh? Now,
Now you want to talk about
check this out. Everybody in here got a dream and desire. Don't go to sleep on your dreams and your desires. Work on them every day. Work on them every day. Because see, when I was young like these brothers here, you know what I wanted to do with my life? I wanted to play with the Baltimore Colts, who are now the Indianapolis Colts. That dream went out the window because I couldn't stay in school. I wanted what? I wanted to be a pro basketball player. If my knees wasn't bad like they were now, sir, forget about this. I'm taking these brothers out on the court. But since my knees are bad like they are, feel me? I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning doing the funky robot. But work on your dreams. There is no trash. Nobody was born to be trash. We got doctors in here. We got lawyers in here. This man, Dr. Ben Carson, who I ran across, getting ready to get on the elevator. This brother here, he was on, when the doors opened, he was on the elevator. And I say, "You Dr. Ben Carson?" He said, "Yes, I am." And then all of a sudden, his wife came in to join him. And we rolled up. I went to the second floor to see my dad. We rolled up. And we were talking, and I was telling him, I said, "Man, I love your book with these hands. Awesome." They didn't give him life. When he was coming through, he had it hard too. Martin Luther King had it hard too. Barack, okay. But you look at these history makers. I thought I saw Malcolm. There you go. Malcolm, Detroit Red. He went to prison. Come out, Malcolm X. It wasn't white people who killed this man. Get your hands out of my pocket. Boom, boom, boom. See the movie, read the book, the autobiography of Malcolm X. That was one of my class projects that I had to do. Discrimination. Discrimination. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be the first one to tell you. Guess what? I'm black. I love being black. I'm going to protect my blackness. And I don't care what society, political correctness, or none of that say. I'm black. I'm going to be black. I'm going to live black. But watch this. How can I travel where I traveled at and address white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, even Muslims? And they all, guess what? When it's all said and done, they all like, "Mr. Dowridge," because you know what? I had to come out of me to learn the world, to understand it's just not me, black man, that's in this world. We all got to do what? Live together. Holler at me if you hear me. Watch this, watch this. A couple of weeks ago, I was hanging out with your boy, too. True story. A couple of weeks ago in Georgia, I was hanging out with your boy, sir. Now, they probably don't know about it, but you seem like you're young enough too, remember? Dougie Fresh.
Hey,
I was hanging out with him. See, I get to hang out with these people. Yeah. I get to hang out with these kind of people because guess what? I had to get me together first. I had to get me first. This man right here, we went to school together. You should see some of the people that he hangs out with that camera. But guess what? We had to get us first. This ain't about, sir, can I tell him please? Please. This ain't about your mama. This ain't about, yeah. I talk about your mama. Look at my girl always say, "Tell him, Mr. D." This ain't about your mama. This ain't about your daddy. This ain't about your little brother, your big brother. This ain't about your aunt, your uncles, and none of those people. This is about you. Because I know for a fact, each one of you all are old enough now. When you wake up in the morning, your moms don't come in that room and dress you. "Put one leg in here, baby. Come on." Because most of you all, when you get to a certain age, your mom trying to take you to school or something, what you doing? "Come on, Mom. Come on, man. Come on, Mom. Too many people looking, man. Come on, come on. Come on, Mom. Come on. Mom, stop playing, Mom." She rolled up on you. "Give me a hug, baby." "Come on, Mom. Come on. Why you playing like this, Mom?" And you get home, you're like, "Mom, I love you." Why you can't do it in front of people? Let me stop, sir. Because he's going to say, "Mr. Darrell, that was nice of you, but we don't want you back." All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my monologue. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. You know what I mean? A lot of times,
I think you're on the right track right here. You're on the right track.
A lot of times, true, all right? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I can't believe that they pay me to do what I do because I love doing this. I give up my life for this. To be honest with you, I'll eat out the garbage can. That's how much I love doing what I do. I'll sleep under a bridge. That's how much I love doing this. Because you're my future. You are my future. And it's a beautiful thing when I go to places, some places, 5,000 strong, and people, when it's all over, kids come up and say, Mr. D, you keep it 100. You need to be my teacher. We love you, because I keep it like that. I keep it real with you. I can talk with you. What up, homie? What up, man? You straight? You straight?
Yeah.
100? True that, baby. Keep it down. Hey, you know what I can't understand? When I walk in the door, they be talking about, what that little man want? And watch it though. When I break that thing down, Sir, when I hit him up with this thing here, Maybach. If I hit him up, don't let your cocoa, don't know you what you want to go. You try to mess with me, I'm the real Donald D. You don't know what you mean. What that dude know about Mr. Officer, Mr. Officer? Dude, they don't know, boy. I get in that truck out there. Who? I'm in there by myself. I be basing that bad boy. Now, hold on. When wifey in there, I be jazzing that bad boy. Yes, honey. Yes, dear. Yes. Okay, baby. You leaving now? All right, bye. I'm not. And she gonna tell me, man, my wife is telling me, I don't know why I married you. You need to grow up. I said, baby, look at here. Growing up, then I get old. Keep this thing young, baby. Huh? Shoot, wait a minute. Shoot. All right, let me go on my little thing. My sister, she looking at me like, Mr. Dowridge, that is very nice. Can you do what you come here to do, please? All right. Oh, I took on this role of Frederick Douglass. Seriously, 5 years ago. I woke up one morning and I was brushing my teeth. And I was debating whether or not to cut my fro off. And as I'm brushing my teeth, all I heard, Frederick Douglass. Do Frederick Douglass. After I showered up, put my clothes on, I went down to the Strauss Theater downtown and I reserved the theater. And Frederick Douglass has been taken off. I don't care how many times I said, I'm just going to go down. I don't care how many times I said when they try to teach me about black history and history in general of this country and of this world. At your age, I said, what am I going to need that for? I don't need that crap. That's no science. What I need that for? They ain't going to get me one. I'm not no stacks, baby. Well, here's the moral of the story. My name Donald Dowridge. Dowridge. Forget about the Donald. Dowridge. When the slave owners went to Africa and they loaded my relatives up on that ship, they didn't bring my relatives straight to America. They took my relatives over to Great Britain. There, the white people over there gave us the name Dowridge. Then they shipped us over here to Jamaica, where my grandfather migrated to South Carolina here in the States. From there, he went to Baltimore, where my dad was born, where my grandmother was born, etc., 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 etc. Now, Dowridge, you can find Dowridge, New York, Michigan, California. And some of these people are my kin, but some of them are not. Since Facebook came along, I can't tell you how many Dowridges has come out the woodwork. And most of these Dowridges, believe it or not, they live in Tobago, the Caribbeans. That's where they live at, in Brooklyn, New York. You feel me? What I'm saying is to tell you this, all right? When you leave here today, go home. Ask your parents about you. Who's your grandparents if you don't know this? Who's your great-grandparents if you don't know this? Some of you all, believe it or not, if you don't know this, you probably got great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents who probably were doctors. if you don't know this, all right, some of your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, you ready for this? It's probably in the history books and people are reading about it. They're part of this black history and you don't even know that. Find out about where you come from, because a lot of times we fail because we don't know where we come from. I can't tell you how many times that I should think my dad just popped here. I'm serious. I should just think he just popped here. He wasn't no young person. Well, he was born too. I was born too. Know your history, young people. That's all this is about. My man, partner with the phone. What are you? Are you white, Hispanic, or what? Mexican. All right? Can you tell me some things about your culture, Mexican? That's what I'm talking about. Dude. S.A. I can tell you. Partner. I can tell you more about Mexicans. I shouldn't be able to tell you more about Mexicans. You should be able to tell me more about Mexicans. So when you go home, ask your parents who Hugo Chavez was. That brother, Chavez, he hung out with this man here, Dr. King. That brother there, he even hung out with a comedian by the name of Richard Pryor. But he fought for Mexicans' rights in this country. He might even be your kin. But you don't know. You don't know, and if you don't care to know, then you don't know. I tell Mexican kids, you know what I tell them? I say, look, you don't have to grow up. Those days of your parents way back there in the rice fields and on the corner drinking and SA and all that, you can change it. Because I run across young Mexicans and guess what? Their parents don't have a high school diploma. They pull themselves out of school to go work the field. You can change that. You can change that. How many of you all want to go to college? You got to be real with this thing. You can't just say, I want to go to college. No, you got to be real with this. The only way you're going to, listen, sister, the only way you're going to get there, you got to get that grade point average. Don't just get it. Get a 4.0. Get a 4.5, 5.0. Then go to college. I know my time is ticking, sir. All right, how much time I got left?
Well, you want to eat and ask you some questions, so you done. You can open up for questions. This inspiration is what we needed. We needed that here.
He wants to say more.
He gonna be here with him.
You know what? I tell you what, homie. I see you outside. It's on, bro.
Don't do that.
Hey, hold on. Mr. Burke, this is David Burgess. Give him a round of applause. Mr. Burgess, I hate to put you on the spot, sir, but you knew me when I went to Hillsborough, right?
Correct.
What kind of student was I back then? For what you knew?
Well, you look like you were kind of smart.
Yeah, I looked like I was smart. But guess what? This is what I walk like this. That was my walk. Don't take this to heart. Sister. Watch it. Don't take it to heart. We in high school. Hey, girl, what's up? You know, I'm from New York, girl. What's up? She's like, oh! I throw that New York, because back then, now you say I'm from New York, all right, but back then, 100 years ago, Tampa, Florida was country. The radio went off, and as soon as it got dark, WTMP, I don't know if you remember, and you got somebody flowing up in here, everywhere I went, boy, dude, that's how I strolled, just like this. And we weren't even using the word swag back then. Shoot, I ain't have a penny in my pocket. Didn't have nowhere to stay, but I strolled with it though. Played it. As a matter of fact, guess what? When my dad left, I wind up living in a hotel room. I supported myself by selling drugs. I went in the military. The only reason I left here and went in the military because I had, sir, can I be honest with you? It wasn't drug issues. Female issues. Oh yeah. I was out there, boy. Shoot. Papa was a rolling stone. his hat was his home. Don't have me go there, sir. Look at my man like, do it, dude. Give me some temptation. My girl. Boom. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, look at my girl. So I'm working. Is your name Ashley? Oh, okay. Okay, because I know I kept running. Hello? Hi, this is Ashley. Yeah, okay. What's your name? Yeah, I talked to you too, yeah. Remember that group, Another Bad Creation? Aisha, 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 Aisha. Were you named after that? Look, she was named after that too. Another Bad Creation. Get out of here. Yeah. But look. Okay, well look. Since we gotta go, and I know y'all gotta feed, whatnot, y'all gotta roll up out of here. All right, let me do this. At least let me give you the speech. Okay? This is a speech that Frederick Douglass did on July 4th, 1852, when he was living in Rochester, New York. All right? Frederick Douglass, he gets a big nod because of the fact that, guess what? He was real close with Abraham Lincoln. He gets a big nod because in October of 1862, Frederick Douglass, being the first black man to go into the White House, he was able to have a conversation with Abraham Lincoln about the freedom of the blacks in this country. 1863, January 1, Abraham Lincoln, with Frederick Douglass standing beside him in the White House, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. A lot of blacks in this country didn't believe that they were free. So Abraham Lincoln sent Frederick Douglass around the country to tell blacks that they were free. Unfortunately, as the more he went out to tell blacks they were free, a lot of them just booed him and they didn't believe him, so they stayed in slavery. They kept themselves enslaved. To move on, it was something called the 13th Amendment that allowed black men to serve in the military. Not just serve in the military, but fight on the front line. Not just fight on the front line, but guess what? Equal rights, equal pay. Young women, it was Frederick Douglass who fought for your rights. Frederick Douglass got beat up a lot of times. He got beat up. He got actually beat up as a man. Because Frederick Douglass said in a speech real quick at a women's meeting, he said, how can I as a black man be free when my sisters are not free? They deserve to serve as well and be treated equally as men in this country. And when he said men, he didn't just say black men, he said men in general. As a matter of fact, sir, you got any Susan B. Anthony Cohens saved? Susan B. Anthony Cohens? Susan B. Anthony Cohens? Susan, I got 5 of them. Sir, you got any Susan B. Anthony Cohens? I got 5 of them I saved. Susan B. Anthony, believe it or not, she was a great friend of Frederick Douglass. When Frederick Douglass died, his body laid in state in Congress. I mean, in the Capitol building. That's how good he was. And this brother come up out of slavery. He got whipped by Master Corvée continuously. But one day he got tired of getting whipped at the age of 15 years old, and he turned on his master. And he beat his master. But he couldn't leave because he was on loan for a whole year. But his master never touched him again. He taught many slaves how to read. He used to have meetings with slaves out in the back, out in the woods. Slaves as young as 7 all the way up to 60 years old. He's teaching them. Unfortunately, in the midst of those slaves, there were Judas sitting in there who would run out and go snitch and tell. So Frederick got beat. They wanted to take him to jail. September the 3rd, 1838, Frederick got his chance to leave. His to-be wife, Anna Mary, sold a lot of her merchandise to help Frederick go free. Frederick wound up, once he got up north, he wound up joining the anti-slavery society. He met a white guy by the name of William Lord Garrison who was interested in hearing what Frederick had to say about slavery. Even though he told William Lord Garrison that I don't have a formal education. But they wound up paying this man to travel around the country with him to talk about slavery. To further that, Frederick Douglass, he wrote his first book in 1845. The name of that book was The Narrative and Life of Frederick Douglass. They didn't believe that a black man wrote this book. They thought a white person wrote it and just put his face on the front. You want to know something? Frederick Douglass had the first top-selling book in this country. That book sold 5,000 copies. That book was printed in 5 different languages. That book also went all over the world. He wrote 3 books. That was his #1 selling book. He became the president of Freeman Savings Bank. He also was charged d'affaires, if you will, for Haiti, the country of Haiti, for 2 years. He also was friends with Ulysses S. Grant. Anybody heard of that dude? He was the president. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like. I like that. Come here, son. Come here, bro. Come here. I like that. Sir, I like honesty. I like being brave. Thank you, bro. Because I look dead at you when you say, All right, take a seat. Ulysses S. Grant, look him up. He was the president of the United States. And not only that, him and Frederick Douglass became friends. And not only that, how many of you all ever heard of the KKK? Ku Klux Klan? All right? Well, guess what? It was Frederick Douglass who worked with President Grant, who turned around with the Anti-Klan Act, who got rid of 5,000 clans in this country from killing blacks. That was Frederick Douglass with Mr. Grant. All right? After President Lincoln got killed at the Lincoln Theater, when John Wilkes Booth walked up and shot him in the back of the head, Vice President Johnson became president. But you ready for this? Johnson did not like black folks. If he had his way, that emancipation that was signed, he would have sent all blacks in this country back to where?
Slavery.
To slavery. But Frederick Douglass marched on. And just to go through, just going up a little bit, all right? He had 5 children. His baby girl, Annie, died when she was 10. That's why he came back to the country, because he ran. Once his book got out there, he ran and went overseas. Those white people over there, dude, those white people over there, dude, those white people over there, guess what? They love Frederick. They didn't look at Frederick as being a what?
Black person.
They looked at him as being a what?
White man.
A human being. They paid $1,700 they sent back to this country to his slave master, Hugh Ard, for his freedom. So when Frederick Douglass came back to America, he came back a what?
Free man.
A free man. The list goes on and on. But let me just go to the end real quick. Frederick Douglass on February the 20th, 1895, at the age of 77 years old. He was out speaking. He came home. His wife, his second wife, who was 20 years younger than him, Miss Helen Pitts. And guess what? After Anna died, who was black, 44 years, 5 children, Frederick was hurt. But you know who came along and helped Frederick to get back on his feet again? Who's that lady that had who was in charge of the Underground Railroad?
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks.
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman.
As a matter of fact, stop playing. Sorry, as a matter of fact, watch this. Let me tell you, forget history. Let me tell y'all what really went down. All right? Rosa got on that bus and she didn't want to get up. She summons for a homegirl. Yo, Harriet, come here. Harriet came up and they had a meet right there on the bus. The Underground Railroad and the Civil Rights Movement collided. Boom! And then was born no other than yours truly, Martin Luther King Jr. If you believe that, I'll sell you Brooklyn Bridge. Because somebody's like, oh yeah? Wow, I'm going to tell somebody that. Don't tell them that. Get me in trouble. All right? But Harriet Tubman became a good friend of Frederick Douglass. Frederick got married 2 years later. Here's the part that a lot of people don't like to hear. 2 years later, he got remarried to his secretary, Helen Pitts, who was 20 years younger than him. Helen Pitts' father and Frederick were close like this. They were tight like this. You ready for this? While they talking over there, they were tight like this. All right? You ready for this? She was white. Helen Pitts was white. She got married. Her family disowned her for the rest of her life. Frederick's children got mad, upset, so they owned them for a little bit. But if it wasn't for Rosetta, Frederick Jr., Lewis Douglass, those 3 of his kids, Frederick would have sank. But Frederick Douglass right now is buried in Rochester, New York, where a lot of people go and see him. If you ever go to Washington, D.C., as I come to an end, if you ever go to Washington, D.C., young people, go to Anacostia, see Frederick Douglass' home, see the hill. They called him the Lion of Anacostia. You know why they called him the Lion of Anacostia? Anybody want to take a guess? Why they called him a lion?
Because he was like the key.
Maybe because it was wild, right?
Nope. Take another guess. Why did they call him the lion?
Oh, because it was powerful.
No.
He's aggressive.
A good leader.
No.
He's a king. Oh, you surely said that.
What do a lion have?
A roar.
A
Mane.
A what?
A mane.
A mane. And the way Frederick's hair was, they called him the lion. See the hill. All right. So look, real quick, then we're gonna shut this party down. All right. Okay. Mr. President, friends and fellow citizens, he who could address this audience without a squandering sensation has stronger nerve than I have. I do not remember to have appeared as a speaker before the assembly more shrinkily, nor with greater distrust of my ability than I do this day. A feeling has crept over me quite unfavorably to the exercise of my limited powers of speech. Fellow citizens, pardon me. Allow me to ask, why am I called here to speak today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I, therefore, called upon to bring our humble offerings to the national altar and to confess the benefits and express devout gratitude for our blessings resulting from your independence to us? Would to God, both for your sake and ours, that an affirmative answer could be truthfully returned to these questions. Then would my task be light and my burden easy and delightful? But such is not the case. I say it with a sad sense of disparity between us. I am not included within the pales of your glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you, this day, rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought light and healing to you has only brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument is needed. Oh, had I had the ability and could reach the nation's ears, I would this day pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not the light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle showers, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake. The feeling of this nation must be quickened. The conscience of this nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him, more than all other days of the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasted liberty, an unholy license. Your national greatness, swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and it is heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence. Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgiving, with all your religious parades and solemnity are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impurity, and hypocrisy. A thin line to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on this earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. Go where you may, search where you will, roam through all the monarchies and dispositions of the old world, travel through South America, search out every abuse, and when you have found it to last, lay your facts by the side of the everyday practices, and you, yes you, will say with me that for revolting barbarity and hypocrisy, America reigns without a rival.